Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing Ice Cream Man, which is the new horror movie from Eli Roth and from his new production studio, The Horror Section, which I have seen one other film from last year, which was Dream Eater. And this movie, so this is about an ice cream man that feeds children ice cream that like possesses them and turns them possesses them, and basically they go on this giant killing spree. Um, so this was a movie I was actually kind of excited for. Um, Eli Roth is not usually my favorite horror director. I do think that he has like you can definitely tell that the guy has passion in the horror genre, but I think that just his movies overall, like Cabin Fever aside, and also some of the movies he produced aside, he's just never really been a director that I've been all that into. But I like the concept of this movie, and I was excited for it. It looked like it was going to be like Weapons meets Terrifier. Um, so I went to the movie, and I was excited. And I will say, so this movie does have entertainment value, and I had a good time watching the movie, and I was entertained. But as a movie, this movie was kind of dog shit. And I will explain why. So, the things I think are actually good is that I think the movie is very nicely shot. Like, it has this cool look, like a summer, like almost like it kind of, some of the shots are very similar to the shots in It. Very much tries to capture that like summer idyllic vibe. And I do think they did capture that pretty well. The gore effects is, I know that's the main thing that is going to draw people. This movie is insanely gory, and the gore effects, while some of it is very questionable, some of it does look very good, I will say. And I did really like some of the gore in here, and I think the gore effects did look fairly good as well. Like I said, there's some questionable ones, but it did look good. And I thought the guy who played the Ice Cream Man did a very good job. And I will say some of the lore, like some of the ways they decide to go with the lore, I thought was interesting. Execution wise, though, we'll get into that. But I do think where they decided to go and where they wanted to go, I did like that route, and I thought it was interesting. But aside from that, guys, like, I mean, if we're going to talk about this as a movie, the writing is terrible. The acting is awful, aside from the Ice Cream Man. I know they're just kids, but really, every adult that's in this movie is terrible with acting. The writing with the humor in the movie, the humor did not land at all and just felt very forced and unfunny. And when I was laughing at the movie, it was that stuff that really wasn't supposed to be all that funny. And just I feel like this movie just is one big missed opportunity. Like you have a really cool concept, and while you did do some stuff that was good with that concept, overall it just is a movie that kind of falls flat in of itself and feels disappointing. And I have to mention this is that the movie does unfortunately use a couple scenes with generative AI. When I first heard about that, I thought it was just people bitching online talking about, oh, I didn't like the way some things look, so it's got to be AI. Unfortunately, one of the VFX artists that did not know they used it came out and said that he found out that they used it. And that's something that really fucking sucks. I mean, I can go on and say like that I do not want AI in films for various reasons, but in here, I mean, it was really frustrating that I found out they used it. This movie's not filled with it, but it is in a couple of scenes, and it sucks that it's in there. So um, so overall, with Ice Cream Man, this is not a movie that I think is the worst horror movie of the year, and it's not going to be. But like, you get like this movie is obviously very poorly reviewed if you haven't seen. But like other movies that are very poorly reviewed this year that I loved, like Return to Silent Hill and Psycho Killer, those I think are genuinely really good movies. Yeah, I can understand why some people may not like them, but those are actually really good, well done movies. This, on the other hand, was just very like it had stuff that I did enjoy and some lore expansion that I did enjoy, but overall, it was still kind of disappointing. Like I said, it's not terrible. The AI thing definitely brings it down, obviously. The movie itself isn't terrible. It was just disappointing for what it could have been, and it wasn't really all that well executed. And I'm going to give Ice Cream Man a 3 out of 5. That may seem high to some people for this movie. For me, like I said, I was entertained. I had a fun time watching it, but as a movie, definitely disappointing. So that's my review on Ice Cream Man. If you've seen it, let me know what you think about it in the comments. And as always, subscribe to me to see more horror and thriller reviews.